Well, if you weren't sold on San Diego State after their blowout victory against Cal last week, they go on the road, take on Northern Illinois, 2.5 point favorites. Northern Illinois 1-2 on the season. San Diego State 2-1, coming off their best victory. Uh, it's gonna be interesting to see if they go on and put on a similar performance that they did a week ago and close to a shutout against Northern Illinois on the road, and offense looks decent, you say this is the team to watch out for in the Mountain West, the dark horse. Northern Illinois hasn't looked good this season. Losses to Mississippi State and Maryland that weren't really close. They did beat Holy Cross to start their season. Meanwhile, San Diego State, blowout victory against Stony Brook, and a bad, ugly defeat against Washington State, and then a blowout victory against Cal. So, what will we see this week in Week 5? It's gonna be interesting to see. The offense has looked great at times. They could not get anything done against the Cougars, but certainly the Huskies have not looked good thus far this season. A true lack of offense from Northern Illinois. And what's that going to look like against a stingy, appearingly solid defense in San Diego State? This feels like a game that they're just going to rely on Lucky Sutton for the most part. Let him get the tough yards, extend drives down the field, and maybe from there you rely on Denegal in the red zone, whether with his feet or to get it done on some simple short routes. Denegal has played pretty effective football thus far. He hasn't really made too many mistakes. They haven't relied on him too much. You may not need him to do too much to win this game, and just stay within themselves, limit turnovers, limit mistakes, and rely on your defense to get some stops and put you in some pretty good possessions. Despite their record, I just don't trust a sneaky team like Northern Illinois at home to not put up a fight and try and catch San Diego State off guard coming off a huge victory. I see this, I think a lack of defensive stops and a middling offense from Northern Illinois is not going to help them out whatsoever. I feel like San Diego State's defense is just too good. It's going to be like pulling teeth trying to score on San Diego State. I think the offense is just going to do what they do best and not to try and get too fancy. Just take it one play at a time. I don't think they're going to go for any chunk plays. They're really just going to try and grind it out and really put the pressure on Northern Illinois' offense to match score for score. And well, as a surprise as it was for San Diego State to shut out Cal last weekend, I'm not going against them this weekend. I think the Aztecs put on a solid, impressive looking victory on the road and move on to 3-1 on the season. San Diego State goes on the road to take on Northern Illinois. It's a 1:30 Mountain Time game on ESPN+. Be sure to check that out.